welcome everyone. We're going to begin our 45-minute beginner yoga class here in just a moment. I'd like you to make sure that you're wearing comfortable, breathable clothing, preferably in bare feet, and we have our water nearby, and we're on a cushioned surface. If you don't have a mat, then just a rug is fine. And I'd like you to start by coming to a comfortable seated position with me, and that can be whatever you like. If twisting is not comfortable for you and sitting on the heels is not comfortable, you can extend the legs straight out in front in staff pose if you prefer. And we'll just start by sitting up tall. And let's give the shoulders a big roll up, back, and down. Just placing them down and back as far as they'll go. Take a deep breath in all the way down to the base of the spine, closing the eyes. And exhale completely, feeling the body supported by the mat and by the earth. And now just for a moment, bringing our attention to today's class. And let's make ourselves that promise that we will not push too hard, that will honor any feelings of restriction, especially through the joints, that will maintain the lines of communication with our bodies, pushing forward when it's appropriate and holding back when it's appropriate. And now I'd also like you to just for a moment consider your intention for this class. So what would you like to get out of this next 45 minutes today? What would you like to offer yourself? Maybe a chance to be in the moment, maybe a little more peace, mind-body connection, ease. Good, and now let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Good, so we're sitting up nice and tall, facing the front of our mat, shoulders down and back, and let's take a deep breath in, lengthening, sucking the belly button toward the spine to contract the abdominal muscles, and then we'll exhale and tip forward, relaxing down over the legs. Now as you come down into the seated forward fold, I'd like you to make sure that the hips remain on the floor. Tuck your tailbone if you like, and you can press the chin toward the chest. You can rock from side to side in this pose or in any pose. What we want to make sure of is that we're never bouncing in a stretch, but rocking is fine, just easing into that depth. As you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, just ask the body to relax a little deeper into that stretch. Good, and now let's walk the hands back up, and we'll bring the fingertips to the floor behind us, and out to the sides a little bit more is fine if you feel too much tightness through your shoulders and chest. And we're going to extend through the crown of the head. Make sure you're not letting the belly pop out. Keep that core strong. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and squeeze the elbows in toward the spine. You can come down onto the palms if you like. And if you'd like to deepen that stretch even further, relax the neck and let the head drop back. So here I'd like you to really focus on keeping the shoulders down and back as far as they'll go. And we're opening up and out through the center of the chest where the rib cage meets in front. Breathe. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll fold forward to counter stretch the spine after that deep bend. So just relaxing down over the legs. Once again, you can rock from side to side if you'd like. And breathing deeply, relaxing down. Great, and now let's walk the hands back up, and we'll extend the legs straight out in front for staff pose. Sitting up nice and tall, work the glutes out of the way so that you're sitting evenly across the sits bones here. And first in staff, we're looking for our postural correction. That's usually where we're going to come to in any of our poses. We start with a straight spine, sucking the belly button toward the spine. We're feeling the strength of our abdominal muscles. If you need extra support, the fingertips can come to the floor anytime. Lengthen through the crown of the head and tuck the chin. Now let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and tip from the hip, relaxing down over the legs. So here, I'd like you to maintain a straight spine as you tip forward from the hip and lift the tailbone up toward the ceiling at the same time. Again, you can rock from side to side as you lower the body down if you like. As you inhale, think of widening the back and pressing forward through the center of the chest. As you exhale, just ask the body to relax a little deeper into the stretch. Breathe. Great, and now let's walk the hands back up. And we're going to relax the legs. You can point the toes if you want to, and just bring the hands to the floor behind you. So we're just leaning back in this staff pose now, shoulders down and back, and you can remain here, tucking the elbows in toward the spine to open up the fronts of the shoulders and the back, or you can come with me and reach up toward the sky with that left arm as you inhale. Exhale, bend the right elbow in toward the body. So I want you to think about pressing the left rib cage out to the side, pressing the shoulders down away from the ears as far as they'll go. Your bottom arm is strong. It's supporting your weight here, and we're feeling that deep extension through the left ribs. Breathe into the stretch. Relax as you exhale. And make sure, too, that you're still nice and even across both sides of the body on the floor. We're not allowing the lower body to shift to one side in this pose. Now let's inhale and reach up, straighten the bottom arm. Exhale the left hand to the floor, and we'll reset right down the middle. Squeeze your shoulders down and back. Good. And now we'll reach that right arm up toward the sky as we inhale. Exhale the left elbow in toward the spine. So we're really looking to bend from the belly button to the crown of the head pretty much any time we do a twist or a bend, unless I indicate that we should be tipping from the hip. Our lower back should always be straight and strong, and then we're moving around that. That's really our weakest area of spine. Check your shoulders are down as far as they'll go, and that elbow comes in toward the body, never out, or else we'll compromise our shoulder. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale and release the arm. We're going to tip forward once again, flexing the feet back toward the body and relaxing down over the legs. Make sure that the knees don't pop up as you lower the body down. I'd like you to lift your tailbone toward the sky. Even if you're relaxed all the way down over the legs, still lift that tailbone and notice how your stretch deepens and changes. Good. And now we'll walk the hands back up. And bring the left foot to the inside of the right calf or thigh. So this twist is going to depend on how your knee feels. Remember that little bit that we did at the beginning of our class where we're going to maintain those lines of communication. So prioritize joints first. And I'd like you to square your shoulders toward the straight leg as much as you're able. Take a deep breath in and sit up tall. Exhale and tip from the hip. Now, if your left knee is painful here, you can remove that twist altogether by pointing the knee toward the ceiling and coming down over that leg. Or you can extend both legs all the way for that staff pose again. So just make it yours. Now let's crawl the left fingertips toward the instep of the right foot. Just a little bit, and notice how your stretch deepens in that left lower side body. So we should be feeling that in the glute med and through those lower lats. Good. Notice where you can relax. Maybe through the shoulders, maybe through the jaw. Again, as you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, see if you can relax just a little deeper into that stretch. And then we'll walk the hands back up and bring the right hand to the left knee. So opposite hand to the bent knee, and we'll reach the left arm up toward the sky, squeeze the belly button in toward the spine, and then we bend from the belly button to the crown of the head. So we are not leaning from the lower back. We're not bending from the hip. We're squeezing our core to keep that lumbar spine safe, and then bending the middle and upper spine and the neck. Look toward the sky if it's okay for your neck and shoulders, otherwise look toward the floor. Your top hand can come to the hip or behind the back anytime. And of course you can sit up a little straighter if this is uncomfortable for your spine. Tuck your bottom elbow in toward the belly. Breathe into that left rib cage. Relax as you exhale. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the hands back behind you, and we'll rock back and cross the left foot over the right. Now you might want to just come up onto the fingertips and notice the flexibility of your knee and hip. Adjust so that you're even across both hips on the floor, and when you're ready, you can come with me and grasp just underneath that left knee. Now here again, we're focusing on our postural correction first. So shoulders up, back, and down. Squeeze the elbows in toward the body, and I'd like you to feel the muscles in the back and the backs of the arms contract, not the muscles in the neck and shoulders. Good, breathe. And now if you'd like a little more here, you can come into the twist with me, wrapping your right hand or arm around the left knee, sitting up tall first, and then looking out over that back shoulder for the twist. Now when you come into this movement, make sure that you're not allowing your shoulders or your chest to cave in toward the leg in order to get deeper into the twist. We want to prioritize a straight spine, and then we move around that. If you'd like, you can bring that left hand down to the floor at the base of the spine, or you can reach out in line with the shoulder. Good. If you're looking to deepen that stretch even further, you can bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and you can straighten the arm, or you can bend the elbow. It's whatever you'd like to do here. But again, make sure that your spine can stay straight, and we're not feeling any pain anywhere. Check the shoulders are down away from the ears. And breathe. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll release the leg. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tip from the hip. Relaxing down over the legs. So this is our counter stretch. A counter stretch will reset the joints and the muscles so that it's safer to move on to the other side. And we do that along the sagittal plane of motion, so our straight plane, instead of bending and twisting. Good. And now we'll press back up and bring the right foot to the inside of the left calf or thigh. So it doesn't really matter what side you're on, as long as you switch when I do. And we're sitting up nice and tall, squaring the shoulders toward the extended leg. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale and tipping from the hip. So you might notice that you're significantly tighter on one side than the other, and that's all right. We're just working with it, working to find a little bit more balance and never forcing anything. And we always hold our static stretches. When we stretch and hold and we're looking to increase flexibility, we hold those for at least 20 seconds or 3 deep breaths. Any less than that, and it's more of a dynamic stretch, which will warm you up and wake up your joints, but it does not increase your flexibility. If you'd like, you can reach those right fingertips further forward toward the instep of the left foot. And notice how that changes and deepens your stretch in the right lower side body. Good. Breathe. Relax as you exhale. And now let's walk the hands back up. And we'll bring the left hand to the right knee. Inhale the right arm up toward the sky. Lengthen through the fingertips and crown of the head. And then we'll exhale and drop the left shoulder down toward the hip. Tuck the left elbow in toward the body. So remember also that you can always look toward the floor if your neck and shoulders bother you here. You can bring that top hand down to the hip or behind the back anytime. It's all yours. And remember our key point, what we really want to be doing here is breathing deeply and smiling and tuning into the body and finding our focus and balance. Beyond that, everything is fine. So if you're not enjoying what I'm doing here, again, if this is painful for you and you can't find a modification, feel free to come back to any of the poses we've already done. Just listen to your body. Breathe, lengthen through those fingertips, and relax as you exhale. Now let's inhale and come up. Exhale, release the hands back behind you. Rock back and cross the right foot over the left. And once again, you might want to stay just reclined slightly here onto the hands as long as your shoulders are not crowding the ears, or you might want to come up with me right away, grasping just underneath the knee. So finding that nice even space across both sides of the body on the mat, sitting up tall, squeezing the shoulders down and back, tucking the elbows in, lengthening the neck and tucking the chin. And we want to feel those muscles in the middle back contracted, not so much up in the traps, definitely not the neck. Good, so no tension up there. Breathe. And now when you're ready, you can wrap the hand or the elbow around the right knee. And we're looking out over the back shoulder, so it's opposite hand to knee that's wrapping around, and we're looking out over that back shoulder, sitting up tall, pressing the shoulders down and back, away from the ears always, and maintaining that nice straight, long spine as we move. Breathe deeply. Relax as much as you're able as you exhale. You can release that right hand to the floor at the base of your spine, or reach out in line with the shoulder, or you can bend that left elbow, bringing it outside the right knee. You can also straighten out that left arm. There's lots of options. Just make sure that your form comes first, and our flexibility and strength will follow around that. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, square the shoulders forward, and we'll release the leg. Staff pose to reset. This time, if you'd like, you can come with me into a seated yoga mudra, bringing the hands behind you, grasping the wrists or forearms, or clasping the hands together, and then we'll press the knuckles down toward the floor, lengthen the neck, and tuck the chin. Suck the belly button toward the spine. Sit up taller if you can. Feel those core muscles working. And now, if your arms are behind you, we'll inhale and lift them up and away. Exhale and tip from the hip, relaxing down over the legs. So we're looking for that deep stretch in the backs of the thighs, maybe through the lower back. And again, feel free to shift around in your pose, finding that stretch wherever you need it today. We're never forcing anything, just easing into it. And now let's look forward to come up with a straight spine. We'll bend the elbows, release the arms in front, and curve it around the upper back. Great, and now let's roll over into a child's pose, just for a moment. So sitting back onto the heels, and do feel free to grab a drink of water anytime. And we're just going to relax down onto the floor, reaching the arms out in front or back by your sides. So coming down onto the mat. And if this is not comfortable for you, you can lift the hips up so that they're over the knees, or whatever else you need to do. You can also rest your forehead on the fists or on the forearms if you need. And just notice where you can relax. Once again, you can rock from side to side. Just feel the hips opening out. And now let's shift into table pose, and we'll come into a cat dog with our spinal release. Hands are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips, and the first thing we do is always roll the shoulders down and back, suck the belly button toward the spine for a nice neutral flat back, and I'd like you to spread your fingers and grip the mat with your hands. Inhale, drop the belly button down toward the floor. Look up, shoulders down. Exhale, press the floor away, curve and round. Inhale, look up, lift up, shoulders down, elbows wide. Exhale, press the floor away, curve and round. One more time, inhale, look up, lift up, extending, opening up from the shoulders. Exhale, press away, curve and round. And come back to neutral, and now we'll come up onto the knees and step the right foot forward. Pressing the hips toward the floor, we'll bring the elbows to the front thigh. And I'd just like you to touch the fingertips to the elbows, and that's going to help us to keep our arms the proper distance, which is shoulder width apart in this pose for now. Press the hips toward the floor, tuck your tailbone, and if you'd like a little more, you can curl the back toe under and lift the back knee up off the floor. How much can you relax your hips down toward the floor? You can change your leg positioning anytime. You can bring the feet closer together or further apart. Press into the back heel. Straighten out that back leg as much as you're able. And just breathe into that stretch. Great, and now we're going to bring that back knee back down to the floor and both hands to the inside of the front foot. Good, and again, you can always be adjusting your position. You can widen out the knees and hips to give yourself more space if you need. And we're just easing in here, noticing how our front hip and knee feel. And then when you're ready, the hand on the front leg side can come to the knee. We inhale and extend the spine. Exhale, look up toward the sky and allow your shoulders to follow. So again, in this pose, as with any pose, we want to make sure our shoulders are down and back, away from the ears as far as they'll go. Our spine is long. That bottom arm is nice and strong to keep us stable here. And if you feel like you'd like to intensify this pose, you can curl the back toe under and lift the knee. You can reach that right arm up toward the sky if you'd like, and you can wrap that top arm back behind the body if you want to, bracing it on the opposite hip. Allow your hips to sink down toward the floor. Breathe, push into your bottom hand, feel your strength here, and remember that you can release all or part of any pose anytime. Now let's inhale and reach out toward the sky. Exhale, release the hands down underneath the shoulders, and we'll bring that back knee back down to the floor. Good, and now we're going to come back up onto that front knee. Allow your hips to sink down toward the floor, readjust however you need to. And we're going to reach that left arm back behind us now, coming into a little spinal twist. You can straighten out that right arm, pressing the forearm into the inside of the knee if you like. And just remember, we're working on relaxing our hips down toward the floor and lengthening through the fingertips. Nice deep breathing. One more deep breath in. Exhale the hands down to the inside of the front foot. One last lower body stretch. So here now we'll shift to the back knee, lift the front toes up off the floor, turn them to the side, and shift forward once again. And now hopefully you'll feel that stretch on the inside of our right thigh. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Core is nice and strong. Breathe deeply, relax into that stretch. And now if you'd like, you can walk the hands forward and gently bend the elbows in toward the body. So just allowing the body to relax down toward the floor, only if it's comfortable for those little tiny muscles on the inside of that front leg. If you feel like this stretch is not quite deep enough, you can always curl the back toe under and lift the back knee up off the floor. If you choose to bring the elbows closer to the floor, make sure they remain equidistant. We don't want to be bringing one elbow closer than the other. Breathe, relax into that stretch. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the back knee to the floor, shift to the back knee, recenter that front foot, and we'll step into forward fold. Relax down over the legs. Relax the arms and neck. Just let the body hang. And again, of course, you can grasp the elbows and swing from side to side if you'd like. Great. Now let's step the right leg up. Top of the back foot and back knee are on the floor. And we're just going to gently bring the elbows to that front thigh, relaxing the hips down. And again, just remember you can move around in your pose, feel free, you know your body best, so we're just listening especially to those joints and how they feel, and then beyond that we're looking for that good stretch through the muscles and tendons and ligaments and nerves as well. Good, so just notice keeping that nice straight posture, so it doesn't have to be upright to be good posture. You can be tipped forward slightly, and as long as the spine is straight, that's fine. And so we're maintaining that posture while we're relaxing the hips down toward the floor. Shoulders are down and wide. Good. And we're breathing deeply. And now let's bring both hands down to the inside of the front foot. You can readjust if you need to, so you can always widen the feet out a little bit more. Give your hips some space. Check that the shoulders are down away from the ears. And now when you're ready, let's bring that left hand to the knee, shoulders down and back. Look up toward the sky and allow your shoulders to follow. Relax your hips down toward the floor. And that bottom arm is nice and strong here. Good. If you'd like to deepen that stretch, you can curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up off the floor. Lift the left arm up toward the sky if you'd like, and you can wrap it around the body. Remember, options are optional, of course, so the goal is not to get as deep as you can into every pose. The goal is just to feel the stretch. As you inhale, think of widening the back, expand the rib cage, and as you exhale, relax the hips just a little bit deeper toward the floor. Good, now let's inhale and reach up toward the sky. Exhale, release the hands down to the inside of the front foot, and the back knee comes back down to the floor. Now we'll bring the elbows back up to that front thigh, letting the hips sink down. And when you're ready, you can reach back with the arm on the back leg side, arm on the front leg side can straighten out if you'd like to deepen that stretch. So we're looking for that extension mostly through the lower body. You might also feel it through the shoulders, through the arms. Whatever it is we're doing, we're breathing deeply into the rib cage and belly and relaxing as we exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release the hands down to either side of the front foot, and we'll step forward into forward fold. Relax down over the legs. Relax the arms and neck, just let the body hang. And now let's bend the knees and we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders down and back, reach the arms out to the sides and overhead. And we'll release down through prayer and release the arms. Excellent. Okay, let's come into a little wide-legged posing before we come into our balance. So these wide-legged poses are going to assist us with our balance later on. I'd like you to step the feet out to wider than hip width, and our toes can be pointed forward preferably, Slightly out to the sides is fine, but we don't want them too far because otherwise we'll be twisting the knees. Now we're sitting up tall, shoulders down and back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee, tip forward from the hip, and bring the right elbow to the right thigh. Lift your tailbone up toward the sky and shift the weight into the heels. Press into the outside of your left foot, feeling the stretch from that ankle up through the calf. Good. Your hands can come to the floor under the shoulders if you'd like. We want to make sure that we're not shifting forward onto the hands. We're always keeping that weight in the back of the body. Good. And now let's walk the hands to center, straighten the legs and bend the knees, roll up. Good, and then we'll come along to the other side. Hands to hips to start, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the left knee, tip from the hip, and the hand or elbow can come to the left thigh. Or you can reach the hands down toward the floor. They don't have to get all the way there today or ever. We're just aiming in that direction gently. Good. Nice deep breaths. Press into the outside of the right foot. Feel that extension deepen. Make sure the weight remains in the back of the body. Good. And then we'll walk the hands back to center, straighten out the legs, slightly bend those knees. And we'll roll up, shoulders down, reach the arms out to the sides and overhead. And we'll exhale, release the arms, and walk the heels and toes together, and step the feet together. Okay, so our first balancing pose today will be our tree. I'd like you to find a spot, if you'd like to come to a hard surface, that you're more than welcome. That will make your balance poses easier. And of course, you can always come closer to a wall or a piece of furniture if you feel like you might need a bit of an assist today. So standing up nice and tall to begin, finding the soles of our feet, nice and even on all four corners, and we'll shift to the left foot, bringing the right foot into position. So in tree pose, that foot, the toes can stay on the floor. You can bring the foot to the calf or the thigh or the top of the thigh. Knee can point forward, or you can point it out to the side. You can draw that leg into place if you need to. Good, and then one or both hands can come into prayer pose. If you need to hold on to that foot, you can, but just make sure that you're not allowing your upper body position to be compromised. Good. Once you're here, if your knee is pointing out to the side, press it out to the side consciously. Suck your belly in, tuck the tailbone, lengthen through the crown of the head. And when you're ready, you can reach the arms up above, part the hands and drop the shoulders. Remember, you can have fingertips on a wall or in a chair, whatever you like. Relax your shoulders down as much as you're able. Feel your supporting foot and leg. Feel the strength and the balance here. Now we'll inhale, hands together. Exhale down through prayer. Release the leg. And work out the ankles. Great job. Okay, so now coming along to the other side. Standing nice and tall, finding the soles of our feet, finding our height, feeling nice and open here with the arms relaxed to the sides. And then we'll shift to the right side. Left foot comes into position wherever is comfortable for you. So remember that knee can point forward or out to the side. And you can hold that foot in position, or you can bring both hands into prayer. Good. So again, just focus your gaze on anything that's not moving, 6 feet away from you or less. And we're breathing deeply, relaxing into that stretch wherever we're able. And when you're ready, you can reach the arms up above, part the hands and drop the shoulders. Good, so just easing into that pose. Remember, your toes can come to the floor anytime. We're just noticing how that feels to balance here. Now let's inhale, hands together. Exhale down through prayer. Release the leg and work out the ankles. Fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to try an eagle pose today. Once again, there are always lots of options, so you can adjust anytime. Once again, standing nice and tall, rocking back and forth across the balls of the feet and the heels. And now we're going to shift to the left side, bend that knee just very slightly for stability, and come up onto the right toe. You might stay here, or you might cross that right toe over, bring it to the outside of the left ankle, or you might squat down deeper and wrap that leg all the way around. Now once you've found your body position, you're going to reach those arms out, and with the right arm on the bottom, tuck one elbow into the other, bend the elbows, and again, you might stop here. You might bring the backs of the hands together. You might want to bring the hands together at heart center, or you can wrap all the way around and bring the palms together. So this is really an intermediate advanced option. Remember, you might just be here, okay? And that's absolutely fine too. We're just looking for that single leg balance. You can also come into the pose by starting with the upper body and then bringing the lower body into position wherever is comfortable for you on a given day. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we'll stand, release the legs, release the arms. Work out the ankles, come into a stretch wherever you need it. And we'll come along to the other side. So standing nice and tall once again. Finding the soles of our feet. Shifting to the right side. We'll bend that right knee and bring the left foot into position. So you might just want to start here and then come into the arms, okay? So the left arm is on the bottom, right arm is on top. Tuck the elbows in. You can wrap the hands and you can wrap the foot if you want. Bring the toes to the floor or bending that knee a little more and sinking all the way down into that stretch. Good. Wrapping around the calf if it's comfortable. And we're pressing the elbows and hips down toward the floor in this pose. Remember again, you might be here, and that's fine. Just working on that single leg balance. One more deep breath in. And we'll exhale and stand. Release the arms, release the legs, and work out the ankles. Great. Now let's come to the back of our mat. We're going to make our way back down to the floor for our final relaxation. Finding our feet, as we always do before we begin any poses. Nice and even on all four corners. And then again, also finding our height, feeling the arms relax at the sides of the body. Inhale, arms out to the sides and overhead. Exhale, fold forward, relax down over the legs. Now let's walk the hands out into downward dog. Press the heels gently toward the floor. You can bend the knees to get the hands to the floor if you need to. As you inhale, think of widening the back. As you exhale, relax a little deeper into that stretch. Now let's center the left foot between the hips. And we'll slide that right leg forward so that the knee comes up between the hands and the shin comes across the front of the body. Now if it's not comfortable for you to get there in one movement, you can lower the knees to the floor from down dog, slide the right knee forward, angle the front shin, slide the left leg back, and then we're in pigeon. So here too, keep in mind that you don't want to compromise your front knee. So if this twist is uncomfortable, recenter your heel underneath the thigh. And if it is comfortable for you and you'd like to take your stretch a little deeper, you can relax down onto the elbows. You can rest the forehead on the fists or on the forearms, or you can extend the arms out all the way and just relax right down toward the floor. Breathe deeply. Good. Now let's walk the hands back under the shoulders and press up. You can come back down into that extended pigeon anytime, or hold here, or come with me for a side bend. So we're going to place that right hand just outside the right knee. And you can lean onto that hand if it's comfortable for you. When you're ready, sweep the left arm across the front of the body and line it up with the ear, looking up toward the sky. Now here I'd like you to press into your bottom hand. See if you can find that extension through the left side body and rib cage. And if you want more, lift up off the bottom knee. Good. Lengthen through those fingertips. Reach, breathe deeply. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release down into full pigeon to reset. Elbows can come under shoulders, or you can extend the arms out all the way. And now we'll bring the hands under the shoulders and press up, curl the back toe under, lift the hips toward the sky for downward dog. Gently press the heels toward the floor one at a time, or roll around on the balls of the feet. Notice where you feel that extension. It might be different one day or the next. And now we're going to center the left foot between the hips, or right foot between the hips rather, and left leg comes forward. And we slide into pigeon on the other side. So again, just keeping in mind, we will have different levels of flexibility and strength and balance and everything from one side of the body to the other. And that's fine. We're working with it, never forcing anything. Check your shoulders are down and back. We have a tendency to shrug them up because they think they can help, but they cannot. So we're just going to let them relax and ease down into our stretch. So you can come down lower if it's comfortable for you. You can extend the arms out in front or rest the forehead on the fists or forearms if you want to. Just make that stretch yours. And again, remember, you can rock around. You can reach out further with those arms if you like, crawling the fingertips forward. And then when you're ready, you can stay here, or you can come with me and walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to lean to that left side, hand braces underneath the shoulder, sweep the right arm across the front of the body and open up toward the sky. So that's psoas complex and the IT band, those muscles on the inside of your body and the ones that connect your ribs together and the ones that come down through your hips. When those muscles tense up, our fight or flight is activated and we're stressed out just because those muscles are tight. So it's a good idea to do stretches like this for your core, for the center of your body, at least every day. Now lift that back knee up off the floor if you're able. Breathe. Good. Really good. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release down into full pigeon. Just relaxing down. Allowing the body to settle. And now we'll bring the hands under the shoulders and press up. Curl the back toe under. Lift the hips toward the sky. Step back and go. Breathe. Gently press those heels toward the floor and the body more toward the legs. One more deep breath in. Exhale the knees to the floor, sit back, child's pose. So just easing out the back once again, relaxing downward. We just have a few minutes left of class before Shavasana. So we're going to finish up with some stretches on our back, our supine poses. So laying down on your back and just bringing the knees into the chest to begin and rolling them around in a circle. Remember too, of course, you can always grab your water. So just starting by rolling those knees around in a circle one way and then the other and looking for that massage in our lower back. Relax the legs as much as you're able. Relax the neck. Let the head press down into the floor. Notice where you're still feeling tension. We're just allowing the body to begin coming down now, preparing us for our final relaxation. Now let's roll over onto our right side. Knees and hips are bent at 90 degrees. And we're going to start by just reaching that bottom arm up and making a little bed for our head. You can grab a cushion if this is not comfortable for you, because we want to be able to relax the neck and just let that head rest down. Now bend your top knee, bringing the knee back, and grasp whatever's closest to or most comfortable for you. So here that might be your pant leg, it might be your sock if you're wearing them, or it might be the top of your foot, or nothing at all. If you're not grabbing onto anything, you can just gently press that leg back behind you and see if you can find that stretch through the hip and the quadricep. Now from here, I'd like you to press that top knee down and press your hips forward and really look for that stretch in the front of the top thigh. Breathe comfortably. So when I say that, we don't want to be bending the knee or letting the spine around in order to get the leg closer to the body. We want to have a straight spine and a straight top leg, and we're just letting it come to wherever it goes today. You can even have it lower down here, and if you can grasp onto the back of the calf or behind the knee or the thigh or the toe, you're more than welcome. Once you've gotten there, I'd like you to think of lifting your tailbone, arching the lower back, and really feeling that stretch through the back and side of that thigh. Great, and now we'll bend that knee again, bringing the knees and the ankles together. Knees and hips are bent at 90 degrees. And now we're going to reach out with both arms straight out in front in line with the shoulders. So once again, you can have your head resting on a cushion here if you'd like. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, reach that top arm up toward the sky and then allow it to come back behind you. Now it's at about this midpoint. We're going to notice how our spine feels about this. If it's not okay for you, just bring that arm across the front of the body to lessen the twist and stretch. And if you're feeling like you'd like to deepen it, really reach for that back wall. Check that your shoulders are down away from the ears as far as they'll go. See if you can keep the knees and the ankles together. That left shoulder does not have to come all the way to the floor today or ever, but we'd like our knees to stay where they are. As you inhale, think of every breath massaging the internal organs. And as you exhale, notice where you can relax. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll reach that left arm up and then forward, bring it down in front of the face, and we'll press up. Elbows under shoulders, sit back, child's pose. You can rock from side to side, loosening out those hips. Great, and then we'll come along to the other side. So rolling over onto our left side, laying down. And our knees and hips are bent at 90 degrees. And we're resting our head on a cushion or on our bottom arm. Now I'd like you to bend your top knee and grasp whatever's closest to or most comfortable for you. So once again, that might be your pant leg, it might be your sock. You don't have to grab the top of the foot. This is also a great spot to incorporate a band. If you have one, you can also use a scarf or a towel or anything you'd like. If you'd like to wrap it around the ankle and draw that leg in closer, if you can't grasp it yet. But we're not forcing anything. When you're ready, you can press that top knee down gently and the hips forward. And we're always moving slowly with deep breathing no matter what we do, because that's going to decrease our potential for injury. Good. And now let's release that top leg. We're going to straighten it out, flex the foot back toward the body. Bring that foot to the floor in front of us. It might be right down below the knee. That's fine. And then when you're ready, you can slide it up a little bit further, grasping the back of the calf or behind the knee or the thigh. And from here, again, we're thinking of arching our lower back, lifting the tailbone toward the sky. Something to be mindful of also in these poses is that the chin does not drop toward the chest. I know that I tend toward that sometimes too, because it's very natural to want to squeeze in, but we want to make sure that the neck stays nice and long. We shouldn't even be able to see our toes, even if we look down through the bottom of our eyes maybe, but certainly not straight in front of us. Good. Breathe. Notice where you can relax. And then we'll bend that knee, bringing the knees and ankles together again, and bring those arms straight out in front, in line with the shoulder. Palms together. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach that right arm up toward the sky. Allow your shoulders to rest down on the floor. Let your head rest on the floor. And then bring that arm back. Now remember, once again, that right hand can come to the hip. It can come across the chest. Our flexibility and our strength and stability and everything is going to be different from one side of the spine to the other too. So even though we kind of think about it as one unit, it's really not. There's a lot of balance involved there too. So just be aware, notice how you feel. And as you inhale, again, think of widening the back, widening the rib cage. As you exhale, just notice where you can relax. And of course, we're also noticing any pain that we might happen to have. No pain, no gain does not apply to yoga, and we're always remembering to just stay tuned into that body. We're always working with it. One more deep breath in. Exhale, and we'll bring that right hand back, placing it in front of the face, pressing up, and sitting back into child's pose. So once again, just relaxing down. You can rock from side to side if you want to. Good. And we breathe deeply. Great. And now let's press up and turn around, sitting down onto the mat, and once again bringing the knees into the chest. We're going to come into our final relaxation here in just a moment. So you're welcome to grab socks or blankets or whatever you need to stay warm and be comfortable. And I would like us to finish off with 3 big full body stretches. So we'll start by taking a deep breath in, reaching out through the fingertips and toes, taking up as much space as you can. And exhale, bring everything into the center, knees to chest, forehead toward the knees. And again, breathing deep, reach out, lengthen through those fingertips and toes. Exhale, bring everything into the center. One more time, inhale, reach out, lengthen, expand, smile. Exhale, bring everything in. Good. And we'll release the body to the mat. And I'm going to walk you through a slightly shorter relaxation today, where we're just going to do a little gratitude exercise for our last couple of minutes of class. You can follow me if you'd like, or you can just pay attention to the breathing and how your body feels. So I'd like you to start by taking a deep breath in, filling the lungs and stomach with air. And as you exhale, feel the body press down into the mat, into the earth. And now for a moment, bring your attention to today's class, giving yourself that mental pat on the back for making it here, for making it through, and especially for maintaining the lines of communication with your body. It's so important. Our bodies tell us so much. And now I'd like you to bring your attention to the heartbeat. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can feel it, or maybe you can just imagine it in the center of your chest and back of it. And just notice it, that spark, that life within you, that movement, and connect with it for a moment. Offer it some gratitude for being there. Good. And now with that heartbeat, I'd like you to bring to mind anything at all that you like, or love, or appreciate. And just connect it with that sensation of your heart beating in the center of your body. Notice how your body relaxes here on the mat when you think of those things, or just that one thing that you can express gratitude for. And now as you breathe, just feel that feeling expand outward, growing out from your heart, filling up the space on the inside of the body, filling up the chest cavity, the abdomen, pressing out to the lines of the body. And as you breathe, feel it expand up and down and out through the shoulders, through the thighs, down the arms and into the hands, spilling out into the legs, down to the feet, through the toes, and up through the throat, breathing deeply into the head, feeling the whole inside of your body, that whole space, filling up with that sensation of gratitude, that feeling of life, your heartbeat. And just rest there for a moment, noticing how that feels. Offering that appreciation, filling yourself with it, and offering it to yourself as well. Finding that gratitude for you. And now let's take a deep breath in one last time, filling the lungs and stomach with air. Feel that sense of gratitude saturating every cell. And relax as you exhale. Now we'll bring the attention to the body, wiggling the fingers and toes, moving the wrists and ankles around in circles. And when you're ready, bring the knees into the chest. And now taking your time and keeping the eyes closed, slowly find your way to a comfortable seated position. And let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and open the eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, as always, let us know, and I hope you can make it next time.